if you and your partner know you want each other, and you're convinced this is the person I want to spend the rest, don't let people come there and feed you with things. Like I said, marriage is about the two of you. It's about what the two of you make it.
Yeah.
My marriage is not the same marriage as the one I witnessed from my parents. Even if your parents grew up fighting with one another in the house, your dad was a drunkard, he would come in and beat your mom. Now you have this ideology of men. No.
Yeah.
So why would you let someone else come and project their things on you, their situations on you?
Yeah.
Give it a try.
Hi guys, my name is KCK and welcome back to yet another impactful conversation on The Renewed. So on today's episode, we have a 24-year-old who got married at the age of 22. And today she's just going to take us through her journey of, journey to the altar and everything, being a young wife, the challenges, the pros, the cons that come with being a young wife and everything that, that she went through, that she experienced with being a young wife. Okay, so if you are one that is on the road to getting married, or you want to get married young, this could be the video for you. Okay, this could be the video for you, and you can learn something, one or two things from this video. If you're already married, you can still learn one or two things from this video. And yeah, with that said, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. See you guys on the flip side. And we are back, you guys. So to join me in this conversation, I have with me Charity, aka Mrs. C. Okay, hi, Mushavi, how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine. So please kindly introduce yourself to us.
Okay, who is Charity? My name is Charity, like she just said. Hange. I am young wife.
Yes, young wife.
Yes, I like to call myself a young wife because I am a young wife. Someone asked me how long are you gonna be a young wife, and I told them forever young. So I'm a young wife. I'm a sibling of 6. I'm a YouTuber, business woman, and a wife.
I love how you are emphasizing on the wife. Okay, so before we get right into it, I have a few warm-up questions. Okay, so the first question is, if you had a superpower, what superpower would you like to have?
To read minds.
To read minds?
Yes.
Why?
Because one thing about me is when I meet someone, I usually am not convinced with or that impression that you give. I always want to know what's behind you actually. Like I'm very curious to know the person. Yeah. Not what they show, but the real actual person. So if I'd read minds, it would have been really interesting for me because
then you would know who's faking who.
Something like that, not necessarily just that, just to know the real person. I want to know who you are. Yeah. As a human, not what you show me.
Definitely. Yeah. I think that's a great superpower actually. Very nice. Then you know what people are up to, what they are, So the second question is, what is your weirdest habit? Something that people don't know about you. That's something that you do.
Weirdest habit.
Sure.
I don't know. I wouldn't know that. I think someone else would tell me that. What's my weirdest habit? I really don't know. Probably, when you receive a call, is it weird or it's not really weird? I wouldn't say that's weird, but I have a tendency of not accepting calls even when I have time to. And then I say I'm going to call them back and I don't return the call.
When you don't know the person or...
No, whether I know you or not, I don't know. I'm literally going to look at your call coming through.
I'm glad I didn't call for this interview. I would have been ignored.
Yeah, I think that's it's not weird, but I think I would say it's one of my bad habits. Yeah. I don't know. If you text me, I'm quick to respond, but if you call me, I'm like...
Oh, okay, cool. So getting into the conversation for today, I saw a social media post some time ago, and it said getting married in your 20s is like leaving the party at 8 p.m. And I know that you got married at 22, you said, in 2021, and you are 24 now. So what are your thoughts on that? I'm curious to know.
It actually depends on you as a person, because one thing about me is that, even for those who know me, I was always that child who was at home. You know, I loved being home.
Yeah.
Not because my parents wanted me to be home. That was my life. Up until now, I love being home. That's my favorite place. That's my happiest place. That's the place where I me, right? So, if being married at 20 is like living a party at 8 and I've never experienced a party life, then I would say that is not for me. That doesn't apply to me, because I don't know.
Yeah. And everybody's time frame is different. You know, some people prefer getting married after 30, others, it all depends. And the most important thing is marrying the right.
Yes.
Not really the age.
Very much.
Yeah. Okay, so did you ever want to get married young? Did you imagine it?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. I've always imagined myself getting married before 25. And funny enough, I don't know, at times you're so small or you're young, but then you say things and then these things come to pass. Like I said, I'm a sibling of 7. We are 7 initially in total. And I lived with my brothers. I'm amongst 4 boys. And all these boys and we lived together in one house. So I was literally the only girl, and I was the youngest at the time.
Okay.
So I would always tell my bigger siblings, my brothers, as older as they were than me, I would tell them that I'm going to get married before all of you in this house. And I'm going to get married at the age before 25. I don't know why I said that. It's not really... Okay, me getting married at 25 is not because it's something I've always wanted, but that is I've set myself a deadline. Or it was more like a prayer request to God. I grew up in a Christian background. So my prayer was like, I want to get married, obviously, but it should be before 25. I don't want to go over 25 and not get married.
Yeah.
And then suddenly God brings that into my life, or brings it into existence, of which it happened obviously earlier. I got married at 22.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't expect I was going to be that young.
Yeah.
But my target was 25. So maybe at times it was maybe a manifestation of what I've been confessing my entire life.
Yeah, definitely.
And really, I did get married before all of my siblings.
Yeah.
Again, also another manifestation. Yes. So,
power.
Yeah.
How did your parents take it? Were they not like, I was small child?
Okay, now because we grew up in, like I said, we come from a Christian background, and in a Christian background, you're not allowed. Okay, you are not allowed, or they don't condone dating.
Oh.
So for them, obviously, it was their wish for their daughter to get married before she gets involved into the dating life, and
Yeah.
But my mom took it very well, obviously. But I believe that I'm a daddy's girl.
Yeah.
So, in as much as he was excited for the news that there's someone who's really willing to take my daughter serious and whatnot, obviously at the back of his head, things he never said to me up until today. But I know my dad, he was obviously a bit worried, like, how is she gonna cope? I mean, she's never lived with anyone. She's always been here since she was born, how is she gonna cope? Up until the day, at times he'll call and it's like he's checking up on you, but it's not just checking up. He wants to know how you really are doing.
Yeah.
But otherwise, they took it well. They took it well.
So they were told when you were 21, or the same year?
That same year. That same year.
And then you got married the same year?
I got married the same year.
Oh my word! Wow. So you were living in your parents' house. I can imagine you are 22, obviously living in your parents' house. And I'm aware that hubby is in Canada, right? And he's from Canada. So didn't you feel like, okay, am I going to move out and then live alone while hubby is not even there? What was going through your mind?
I've always wanted to be independent. But I've always told myself I'm not gonna leave my parents' house before I get. The only thing that's gonna drag me out of here is when I get married, and I always knew I'm gonna get married before 25.
Yes.
So, because I wanted independence, I was excited. I was looking forward to it. I wanted to also just see myself. You know, at times we live. I wanted to know who am I outside of being my parents' child, outside their shelter, outside, like, how wild can I go when I'm alone? Okay. You know, I wanted to explore myself and get to know myself. It was more like self-exploration.
Yes.
So I needed that time to be alone and prepare myself for the journey of being a wife. So I was excited about that. I wasn't really afraid, and I always knew that if I need anything or if my parents are still around, they're just a call away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They still help out.
Yes, they do. They're still my parents. They're never gonna stop.
Yeah. Okay. Because I kind of had the impression of once you're married, you are like your husband's responsibility.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Like,
but
you can't go daddy anymore.
No, I don't do that.
Okay.
I don't do that. But obviously, at times they'll call you and you'll be like, no, I send you 200 for cool drink. You know very well that's not really for cool drink, but because you don't reach out to them and say, this is what I'm going through, I need ABC. So they just fill in that gap so that it falls wherever. It go fill in whatsoever gap you have during that particular time, but it's not necessarily as a hetero married wife, or according to our tradition, you can't be calling your parents and saying, no, my husband and I don't have this and that. Yeah, it sets a bad impression about your partner, that he's not taking care of you. Yeah. Or, you know, so you don't do that. But they will call in and they will say, no, this is ABC, or they come home and then they say, no, we brought this for you. Yeah. You know, as parents.
Definitely, definitely. And I can just imagine, what are some of the challenges that you face as a young wife? You know, getting married at 21, you know, obviously people are talking or there's advice, you know.
Personally, it actually started from the time I was engaged.
The concept.
Yes. So the comments started chipping in. You get comments like, why are you marrying him and not this one? You know? This particular person feels this other person is right for me and not this person. How well do you know this guy? He's been abroad for almost 10 years. How do you trust him? How do you know he's not here for other reasons? Because we met, let's say December, and I think 5 months later we got engaged, right? So there are a lot of questions about this guy who just comes from abroad and he sees this girl and and then me being a born again, is he born again? How do you, they say light, darkness and light does not mix. There's that, of which I'm in total disagreement about that. So there was a lot. He was not at the time, but right now he is. He gave his life to Christ by the grace of God. So it was more about him, like why him? How do you know this person? And what, you're so young, like what am I supposed to feel? You know, do we all have to go through that lane to go get somewhere? You know, so I got a lot of criticism from family. Why are you not marrying, you know, heteros and cousins? Why are you not marrying this guy instead of someone else from? So
but your parents were in total support.
That's what kept us going. Both our parents were very supportive from day one. So for me, the other opinions personally did not matter. They did not. Not that I pretended it didn't. They really did not. Because had it been our parents who were against it, then it would have been something else. Because there's no greater blessing than the blessing of your parents. So for me, that was enough.
Yeah, definitely. Is there anything that you like, anything unexpected that you found out only after marriage? Like, I wish I knew this. Anything?
The life of, more like the things that I got to know when you got married is things like more on the traditional part of things. Like I said, I'm a born again Christian, so my family, personally myself, we were not really into tradition that much. But now you get married into a family that's deep into it.
Oh my word.
So some of the things you need to compromise here and then. Things that you know that there are certain things that for me I no go no matter what. Even though I'm in an in-laws homestead, this I'm not going to do. My husband knows this I'm not going to do.
Yeah.
But there are certain things that you can compromise with, where you know that this one has no harm. So there are a lot of things like even the things that you have to wear this traditional thing. Like you have to every time, like as a wife, at least for the first year, the whole of when you get married, let's say this year, that whole 1 year, you need to be wearing things like blazers, to show that you are a new wife and stuff like that.
You can't be like
no, like you can't do that as a wife. You can't, So some of those things I wish I was told about, but because I grew up with people who did not believe in that, how was I going to know that?
Yes.
So some of those little things, and then, being there at events, as a wife, some things are now mandatory. It's not a thing of, no, I'm not going to go. As a wife, you need to go because now you're representing a particular home, like your husband's home.
Oh, so you're required to go to like
things like yes, some things really require your presence. It's not optional where you decide, no, I'm not going to go to this wedding.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to. Some of the things I wish I knew then.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Getting on to like after marriage, you've been married for, let's say, a year now, right? What are 3 or more things that you've learned within the time that you've been married? When it comes to marriage.
Right. One of the things that I've learned, number one, is that marriage is not, there's no particular system, or there's no particular, I can't sit here and advise you and tell you. One thing, it's something also when I was getting married that I was getting a lot. Marriage is not easy, that, right? Yeah. I can't sit down and tell you that, because one thing about marriage is what the both of you make. So my marriage can never be the same as your marriage.
Yeah.
I know challenges may be similar, but it's never the same. It's not the same. So I can't come tell you marriage is hard.
Yeah.
If my marriage is hard, my marriage is hard. That doesn't mean your marriage is going to be hard.
Yeah.
So that is one of the things that I've learned within the time that I've been married. And another thing is getting married to a supportive partner in all areas in your life is very much important. When you have, even if, imagine presenting an idea to your husband, that there are some couples that have competition with one another. Like I'm literally, let's say for instance, my husband and I.
Yeah.
But I don't know, that competition is there. These things do exist. Competition, whereas I bring something to you, like, no, I want to start this business of doing nails. What do you think? Do you think you're going to make it?
Okay,
those kind of people.
Yes.
You need a very strong and supportive person in all areas in your life. Like, you need to go in out. If you fail, and then it's the both of you. Not if it fails and then he comes and he's like, yeah, I knew it was not going to work. That's not the kind of partner you need in your life.
Yeah.
And then secondly, marriage taught me that through the challenges of marriage, right? Since I can't go back to my parents, I can't go to friends and tell them about the challenges that I'm facing and whatnot. Yeah. I think for me personally, it strengthened my relationship with God, because He's the only one I turn to when things get difficult or hard.
Yeah.
So you need God. One of the things that I've learned in marriage, it's one thing to be single, being at your parents' house, the bills are paid and everything.
Yes.
Then you are now, there's no one around. There's no, mom and dad are not there, your siblings are not there, your friends are not there. The only person you can turn to if you want a peaceful marriage is God. For me, that's how it has worked for me. Over the year and months that I've been married, it has really worked out for me. Wow. There's something about God, He comforts, guys.
Wow. Sure.
Yeah.
So there's also like how you deal with financial difficulties and all of that. How is it like? I know that obviously he lives abroad and you are here. Finances, is it easier because you are two, or
Yeah, it's yes. With finances, I was actually talking to someone last week, and I don't know, we're talking about marriage and stuff, and it's someone older than me, it's one of my uncles. Yeah. He was like, marriage is very nice, or it's good when both of you are trying. Even if you don't have a job, your husband works, don't solely rely on him, because at times, yes, the person can really love you, but eventually it gets overwhelming for this one person.
Yeah.
So if you can get to do nails, you know, if you can get to start up a YouTube channel and get monetized to just get that monthly income, if you can get to do things like having brides, just to support, even that little amount is going to make a difference.
Yeah.
So I think for me personally and my husband, I think that's how it's really been good, because the support is there. Because I had a job, right, which ended a few months ago, I think 3 months ago.
Definitely.
At times it really gets overwhelming for the one person who works. So if you can get small things to do, like, I don't know, braid hair, if you have the talent of braiding hair. I used to braid hair once, but I guess it went away.
Yeah.
So if you can get to do small things, it's going to make a difference. And he's going to see that, oh, she is trying.
Yeah,
you know?
You're not always doing that with a guy.
So I think that's how it has worked out for me. I've always wanted to support, like, okay, well, some call themselves spoiled wives, which is fine. I'm not against that.
Yeah.
It's fine, spoil me, but also let me do something for myself.
Yeah, definitely.
Even if it doesn't bring half of what you bring, it's going to make a difference. I can buy myself airtime. I can go do my nails when I want to. Because I said earlier, I've always wanted to be independent.
Yes.
So things like that, I love to do things for myself. Do my nails, go braid my hair, although him as a husband, obviously he wants to do those things. But at times, you'll be like, oh no, let me do it this time around. It feels good to do things for yourself. It feels good to also do things for the family. As a wife. Yeah, because right now my husband is not here physically, so it's more like emotional support that I can. So financially, if I can also assist in this month, and let's say I have to buy groceries for the village, I would feel good to do that.
Yeah, definitely. And what about friendships? I'm sure you are 22 years, your friends. Do friendships like end? Do they change after marriage? Tell me about your experience.
Personally, my experience after I got married. Okay, I feel like in my life I've had so many acquaintances, right, than friends. But the few friends that I had after I got married, some of them eventually, by default, let me say, just fell off. Yes, they just fell off. Not that we had any disagreements. I don't know.
You're not on the same page.
Not because we're on the. No, because last week we had a young wives picnic with a few other young wives, and we had a discussion, and then someone brings up the topic and she said, after you get married, I lost so many friends after I got married. So it's something I was battling with. Like after I got married, I was asking myself, like, was I a bad friend? Maybe did I change after I got married, or why is it that this particular people are just gone? These people are there. They view status. You guys haven't spoken for nearly a year, but they're there.
Oh my goodness.
So personally, myself, I've concluded that I've lost them. But I always wanted to know, is it me? Did I change? Because there's this, when people get married, they change.
Yeah.
So I didn't really want to solely blame it on them, but I wanted to know if maybe also somewhat I did cause it.
Yeah.
So when this girl said, no, she also lost friends when she got married, and I asked her, I popped up the question and I asked her, is there anything that you guys any disagreements that you guys had, or what transpired? And she was like, no, they just fell off like that. So that's where I got to know that it's probably a thing of getting married. Maybe people feel like you no longer want to be around them.
Yeah.
Or maybe we as married wives also distance ourselves. I don't know I'm still to find out where, but it's something that happens when you get married. You're going to lose a lot of friends. But I also told myself, or maybe made myself understand, it's not just about getting married. Every area in your life requires, you get to meet new people. And the same way you get to meet new people is the same way you get to lose others.
Sure.
So everyone comes in your life for a season, and when that season is over, it's over. She was meant to carry you for that time period, And then this new journey, you get to meet new people. Others come along from the past.
Yeah.
Others fly or fall off. So I got to understand it's normal. Every new you or every new season in your life requires new people. Some come along, some fall off. It's fine. It's normal.
Yeah.
But I did lose friends.
Yeah. No, I can I remember I was watching a video by Shime. She's a young wife as well. She was basically saying that after you get married, it's people kind of see you as like, oh, she's untouchable, like there's limits or something like that. They just assume that, but it's not actually like that.
And I would say, as a friend, maybe you should try it out and see if I'm still me. Give it an attempt, because you can't just conclude. It's really sad how, obviously I was hurt by the friends that I've lost. Like I said, I've lost a few friends. Yeah. And the funny thing is, we didn't have, some of them were bridesmaids, yes. We didn't have disagreements. One thing about me, I don't believe in cutting people off. I believe when we get to a point of cutting one another off, I want you to know why I did that, and I should know why you also did that. Okay. I don't believe in ghosting someone. Yeah. So you can't just assume that I've changed when you've never reached out to me and I pushed you away. No. Yeah. Give it a try, and then maybe if you realize that no, she's really gone. Yeah. But I sit here and I don't know why they left, but they did. Yeah. And that is actually to the friends of people who are married, or anybody that whose friend is about to get married. Just try it out and see if the person change. Don't just assume. Okay, guys, please. To sum it up, is there anything that you want to add? Any advice? Anything you want to add? Yes, my advice is to young people out there, because I think today I came as a young wife, right? Yes. Because there's a certain, I don't know how I should put it out there. There's a certain way people perceive marriage, and that you should not get married young. If you are out there, you found your partner, you want to get married. If you and your partner know you want each other, and you're convinced this is the person I want to spend the rest, don't let people come there and feed you with things. Like I said, marriage is about the two of you. It's about what the two of you make it. Yeah. My marriage is not the same marriage as the one I witnessed from my parents. Even if your parents grew up fighting with one another in the house, your dad was a drunkard, he would come in and beat your mom. Now you have this ideology of men. No, give it a try. Yeah. Because we all have our lives planned out. God, the day you were born, your life was written out by God. He knows the day. He knew the day you're going to be born. He knows the day you're going to die. Yeah. So why would you let someone else come and project their things on you? Their situations on you. Yeah. Give it a try. Did you enter your marriage with some, like, okay, maybe that might happen? You didn't? No, it was a clean slate. It was a clean slate. Wow. I was looking forward to the challenges and the happy moments. I was looking forward to everything. Yes. Not just being happy, because whatsoever relationship it is, be it with your parents, be it with your friends, be it with your siblings, the challenges are going to be there. So how do you come and tell me that marriage is not easy? What is easy? Are relationships easy? We are not. Yes, marriage. Exactly. So don't let someone else come feed you with things. Yeah. And stick to what you want. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for this conversation. I definitely learned a lot, and I am somebody who is into young marriages. I also want to get married young, So I learned a lot, and I hope that somebody out there also learned a lot. But we are not done. Okay, we have a 2-minute game coming right up. Stay tuned. And we are back, you guys. So for this next segment, we have a short 2-minute game, which is called the question game. So what you do is, I ask you a question, and you should respond with another question. Okay? Don't answer. You answer, then you're out. All right. Okay. So, are you 21? If I'm not, how old? I thought you lived in Windhoek. Where do you live? You're supposed to answer. Is it? Okay. Okay, let me ask you another question. Okay. I heard your husband came last night. You did? I did. Didn't you know? Okay, you start. You start. Any question? Any question? Yes, any question. Whew, okay, let me see, because I didn't prepare for this. That's what you're gonna ask me.
Yeah, yeah. Any random question, can be like the weirdest thing.
You're wearing a blue dress?
Oh, am I?
No,
you're definitely lost. You're definitely lost. You're definitely lost. But I enjoyed it so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Casey.
You're welcome. So that was it, you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, because of some of you guys are watching and you're not even subscribed. I don't even know why. But please do subscribe, and of course follow our link down, her details for her YouTube channel somewhere down below here, so you guys can go and subscribe and watch her channel as well. So with that said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you watch till the end, drop a blue heart, because I'm wearing blue today, in the comment section down below. With that said, bye.